This reserve itself has grey box grassy woodland on it, which is an endangered ecological community, and it's also been petitioned as a conservation area. Part of that conservation status means that you can't graze in here, so it's been 10 years since it's been allocated as a conservation area, and effectively you have 10 years worth of growth that's built up in the soil and it's gone a bit stagnant. So some of the areas that are unburnt, you can see there's a large mat of grass that's sitting there, not really allowing for a lot of germination, and it's starting to affect the health of some of those native herbs and forbs, things like chocolate lilies and our native grass. So fire is a chance to sort of come into this TSR, freshen it up and will stimulate more germination of the herbs and forbs and the grasses. So in managing travelling stock reserves and large tracts of land, it can be quite expensive using a lot of herbicide and sending people out to do chipping or that weed control side of things. So things like the thistles and fleabanes. If we can really get the native grasses and the health of this TSR up, eventually the weeds will be outcompeted and we won't need to look at herbicide treatment out here. You can see that there has been a bit of scorching on this tree, but the canopy, it's nice and healthy, and this is actually going to be good for this tree in its development stages. Clearing away through fire the bottom portion of the tree will allow for air to flow and for the tree to really strengthen up and shoot up as a nice tall tree. So it was a cool mosaic burn, and you can see that in what's remaining in the open there. There's sections that they have the dry leaf matter that remained unburnt, and there's germination that's happened from the seed bank within the soil. So your existing grass tussocks, they're shooting, but you're also getting new grass seeds germinating. And further out there's little herbs and forbs. You can see they've germinated fresh from seed. So they were sitting there basically dormant under a mat of dead grass, and now that grass has been removed with a cool fire, they're now germinating, and it'd be fantastic to come out here in spring to see what different ground cover species are here. Part of the burn program, we do set up long-term monitoring points and collect data of the vegetation before the burn, and then we'll do it again after the burn, and then again in spring. And that gives us a bit of evidence of how the landscapers are responding to fire and what impact we're having in the health of this TSR. And what I've seen, the community members that have been trained up and are now getting more confidence in using fire, I've seen them become so much more happy and excited and more involved in wanting to get involved with environmental works and with their culture. Peter is a great example of that he hadn't really been using fire or doing that sort of side of the cultural practice before going up to Cape York, and he's just transformed since coming back, and he's a real leader in the use of fire and traditional land management. So it's really rewarding to see his transition over that time, and that's the other aim of this program, that we hope that the community members will become confident and understand fire well enough that they can provide this as a package or a service to farmers. So there's a potential employment opportunity through this program that the experience and the training will eventually allow them to enter the workplace as a specialist in land management using fire as a tool. One of the really positive things that I've heard from the Aboriginal community members that have been involved in this program, it really hit home when this young man said to the Rural Fire Service guys, I'm standing here as a 37-year-old Wiradjuri man, and this is the first time that I've ever seen fire used like this in this landscape. I'm excited about the future. So that just summed up the aim of this project, that we've got someone excited, someone who's connecting with their culture, and they're proud to speak with Rural Fire Service about the program.